Hello and welcome. My name is Nav and I thank you for joining me on your mat. Today's practice is only 30 minutes. Not a lot of time, but more than enough time. This is a great practice to boost your energy, whether it's first thing in the morning or somewhere in the middle of your day. We'll be working with some dynamic movement, some twisting, and challenging our stability. So this is a great practice to repeat whenever you feel the need. If you ever have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them down below. Liking and subscribing helps the channel a lot. And whenever you do feel ready, find your mat, maybe find some blocks, and we'll find ourselves in a child's pose at the back of our mat. Let's get started. Knees can open wide. Your choice of curling your toes underneath or sitting on the tops of your feet. As we let our arms extend out, resting forehead and chest down towards the ground. Just taking a few moments here to notice how you feel. Check in with your shoulders, check in with your hips. Most of us settle down to a place of softness and stillness, but some of us may need a little bit of movement before we arrive there. So no need to rush. Wiggle your fingers, open and close your fists. Just see if there's a little bit of movement you may even need to bring into your head or neck. Now, to make the most of these 30 minutes on our mat, we begin simply by establishing connection to breath. Smooth, steady rhythm to your inhales and exhales. And if you need a bit more energy within your breath, some of us will strengthen our inhales and sharpen our exhales as we channel something like our Ujjayi breathing. Breath doesn't need to be forced, even if we're working with our Ujjayi. We're just learning to build a stronger relationship to the breath. So let's start to use our inhales and exhales a bit more as we move our bodies, as we challenge our minds. Let's come forward into a tabletop. Shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. Let's come even lower, down to our forearms in our tabletop. Let's start with our cat and cow movements through here. So same movements through the spine. Inhaling, belly drops, chin, tailbone slightly lift. Exhaling, pressing into the earth as you round through your spine, tucking chin and tailbone in. As you continue to work here for the next several breaths, you may just notice that you feel a lot more space and movement through the lower back as opposed to anywhere else around the spine. So see if you can bring a bit more attention to how this shape feels, how these two movements feel around your lumbar spine. Typically, when we work on our hands and working through cat and cows, we're able to connect to a lot more. But we're trying to tune our awareness to the hips, since our warm-up will consist on working with our hips a bit more. Let's come back up to a tabletop, hands stacking underneath. We'll work some mobility drills for our right leg to keep things simple. Keeping your knee bent, right heel drives up towards the sky, coming into hip extension. Opening your right thigh out to the side, your fire hydrant. And squeezing your knee in towards your chest, working through hip flexion. We'll just do this twice more. Big circular motions with your leg. Heel to the sky. Knee to the side. Knee to your chest. Last time, inhaling, heel lifts. Exhaling, thigh opens. Stay for a breath. Exhale, knee to nose or wherever it goes. Awesome, let's lower down. Soft bump of your hips side to side. And then we'll just be switching sides. 3 sets working through the left half. Knee stays bent, heel lifts high to the sky. Feel your glute engage here. Exhale, thigh bone opens wide. Feel space through your inner thigh. And knee to nose or wherever it goes as we puff up through the upper back. Twice more. I don't mind if your hips tilt a little bit here. See what feels comfortable around the hip. No doubt that as we open the thigh bone out, for some of us, we feel resistance through the outer hip. Over time, as we work through these shapes, build more strength and stability through these ranges, we will be able to maintain stronger hips. Let's bring our left knee to the ground. Soft bump side to side. And then from your tabletop, let's step back to a plank. Please be considerate of your hands and wrists. This movement can still work from your knees, but we press into the earth. We still stay engaged through the core and we're strong through the upper thighs, whether the knees are down or they are lifted. On your breath out, shift up and back to down dog. Press your heels a little bit deeper into the ground. Not being lazy through your hands. As much as we consider down dog a resting posture, it requires an active rest. So we're not dumping weight into the wrists, into the elbows. We're pressing into the whole hand to find length through our spine here. Next breath, knees bend, look up. Exhale, let's step, hop, jump, fold at the front of our mat. Head hangs, elbows are grabbed. Maybe yes, maybe no. Just taking a few breaths here as you sway a little bit. Reconnect to your breath now that you've risen up a bit more. And we continue a little bit of warming up through the spine as we rise high. We'll take a deep breath. Arms reach up. We'll look up. Exhale, palms to your heart. We'll reset. Sweep high. Exhale, let's twist to the right, reaching right hand behind. A little bit of movement through the hands and shoulders as we stay twisted, reaching a little bit wider. Palms flipping, shoulders turning. Just see how that feels through your arms. Your breath in brings you back to center, reaching. Exhale, trying the other side. Notice a space that opens up through the front of your chest. Staying strong through the shoulders, staying relaxed through the shoulders. Inhale to recenter for a back bend of your choice. And exhale, we'll fold forward to the ground. Halfway on your inhale. Exhale, hands down. Let's step left foot back as we lower into a low lunge. Left knee on the ground, your choice is there, whether your knee is under your hip or slightly behind. We'll take a breath in, reach our arms high, finding length through that left side. Now just try your best to get your right thigh bone slightly out to the side so it doesn't get in the way of your chest and ribs. On your breath out, let's hinge. Strong through the hips, extending through the hands, finding depth in that inner right thigh. Fingers are strong here, they're engaged. Biceps as high as they can comfortably be. I like to keep my biceps in line with my ears, so notice if the shoulders start to weigh down, arms get heavy here. On your breath out, left hand comes down, right hand reaches high. And if we have strength in our practice, we can lift that left knee up as we come into our dragonfly twist here. Great. Take a breath. Exhale, right hand to the inside of your right foot as we come into a lizard lunge. A little bit of movement through the hip. Stay strong with your hands. Soft bump maybe of the hips. Little movement through the chest. See what feels okay. And if this posture ever feels like too much to hold on to, once again, left knee can come down. No problem with that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more into this back leg. We'll be coming into a quad stretch of sorts. So we'll lower our left knee down. Coming back to our twist, your right hand can stay on your right knee for some support. Left heel curls in. Maybe your right hand can grab, maybe it can't. See what feels best. So for some of us, this is a challenging movement for that back hip. For others, no problem. Heel can curl in, hand can grab on. Find a couple of breaths here. Kicking the foot to open your right shoulder. Left hip lowering down to create a little bit more stretch through the quad. Take a breath wherever you are. Exhale to release. Can we come into a half splits? We shift back through our hips. Right leg straightens a little bit more. If you have blocks, they can always be available underneath your hands if need be. Soft bend in that right knee as we bring a little bit of a hinge into our upper body. Extending with your chest, reaching your nose beyond your toes, finding a couple of breaths. We can always move that right foot around. Heel drops side to side, or rather foot drops side to side. Toes point, toes flex. Now we're going to change directions a little bit here. Just be considerate of where you are on your mat. We'll be turning to the left. Legs stay relatively as they are. We're coming into a gate pose at the back of our mat. Left hand comes to the back, left shin swivels. Right hand to the sky. So we're almost in a grounded side plank here. Couple of breaths. Some of us will reach right hand overhead, finding a little bit more length from right foot to right fingertips. Some of us may lift up right leg, coming into a bit more of a side plank arm balance. And we can always come back into a little bit of a quad stretch if that ever feels needed as we bring our right heel towards our hip. Take a breath. Exhale, release. Right foot will land down. Let's rise up. Left hand to the sky. Take a breath as you start to slide your right hand down your right leg. Wide breathing into that left half of your body. Awesome. We'll take one more breath in wherever we are. On your breath out, bring your hands to the ground. Let's come back to the top of our mat as we step our right foot back. We'll keep things simple. We'll just come back to facing the way that we started. And to just switch sides, working through this little journey of ours, left leg can step forward. Right knee will come down. We started in a low lunge. Inner thighs are strong as arms reach high to the sky. And if that ever feels like too much, always very simple. One hand, both hands can stay on our knee. From here, we created additional length. Strong core. Both arms reach high as we extend. Strong back. Long fingers. Relaxed shoulders. A couple of breaths. A big part of our practice is learning to be present under pressure. Coming into our dragonfly twist, right hand comes down, left hand reaches high. Your choice of right knee down or lifting up to the sky. It's easier, no doubt, to be present when we don't have to move, when we can be relaxed. But can we still be in control of our breath? Can we still be mindful of our bodies when we're asked to hold challenging postures? Lower your right knee, curl your right heel. See if you can grab it with your left hand. This quad stretch to open up that right thigh bone. One of the first things we typically lose control of is our inhales and exhales, our breathing. The softest amount of stress enters our body, whether good or bad. And it runs the chance of us slipping away. We get caught up in what we feel or in what we think. On your breath out, left hand will come forward. We'll shift back, half splits. Soft bend through left knee, stacking the right knee. Some movement through the ankle. And it's not that we need to be worried about slipping away. It's a part of our practice. That is why we practice. But we just have to understand that the breath is never lost. It never disappears. So at the same time, it's very easy to come back. That moment that you've noticed you've slipped away from breath is a very mindful moment that you can take advantage of. Awesome. Let us turn to the side as we come into our gate pose. Right hand walks towards the back of your mat, left hand reaches up towards the sky. Let's sweep up and overhead. Find your breath here. Once again, option to balance, option to bend, option to bind. Feel space as you breathe. Wonderful job, everyone. Let's release, land, big breath, right hand to the sky. Coming a little bit higher as we breathe space into our right side, a little bit more. And we continue from here. Hands will come down, we'll walk hands forward. We'll take a few moments here in this lizard lunge of ours. Hips maybe rocking side to side once again. And eventually we'll step back, returning to downward dog. So one of the hopes of today's practice is that we don't need something very complicated to target our whole body. Very simple sequencing, moving one limb at a time or just a couple of limbs at a time, but still building a decent amount of strength in the body, stability being one of those factors of strength. So we'll be coming up into some standing postures next. Work with your breath. Let your body lead the experience. Let your mind enjoy the ride. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Let's kick high, three-legged dog. Exhale, let's step through. Inhale, let's rise all the way up, coming into our crescent lunge, our high lunge. On your breath out, let's twist to the right. Open through the shoulders, rather open through the chest, squeeze through the shoulders. Staying twisted through your body, let's reverse our hands. Left hand to the sky, right hand reaches down. Could be at your hip, could be down towards the lower back or your left thigh. Right shoulder stays rolling, inner thigh stays squeezing, hips remain deep. Face forward. On your next breath out, let's reach both arms out in front. We did this posture earlier on, but we were on our left knee. So how does it feel now that we're standing? Breath is smooth, breath is steady. Left hand comes down, but we're not dumping all of our weight into the ground. As we return to our dragonfly twist, right hand to the sky. Reaching a little bit higher with right hand. And then staying twisted as you are. Can your spine rise up? Arms stay open to the sides. On your breath out, we get lighter on left hand as we reach right hand behind. Wonderful job. Breath in, reach both hands to the sky. Return to your crescent lunge. Soft lean back if that's okay. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Let's step right foot back. As always, your vinyasa is just simply your journey to downward dog. So for some of us, that journey is very simple. You step back, take a second in your plank, and then lift your hips up and back for down dog. For others, it's the full vinyasa. From plank, you lower down to your chaturangas. From chaturangas, you can open up into your upward dog or cobra. And then eventually curling your toes and coming back to this upside down V. If at any point even this shape feels like a lot, simple, lower to your knees. You can always join us when you're ready, and you can always move from here as well. Breath in, left leg to the sky. Exhale, stepping through. Inhale, both hands to the sky. Look high, look up. Exhale, let's twist, reaching left hand behind. Soften the shoulders. Upper thighs are strong and squeezed. Fingertips are extending. Soften into your hips just a little bit more. Hands play a little windmill game. Right hand reaches higher, left hand reaches lower. Stay twisted if you can. Check in with your left knee that it's not straightening behind. If it does, no problem. But see if you can drive it forward once again. Face forward, take a breath. Exhale, extend. Find depth through the hips, find length through the arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, dragonfly twist, right hand down. Inhale, left hand to the sky. Softly rolling back left shoulder. Strongly squeezing upper thighs. That upper thigh connection helps the hips remain stable through the center line. On your breath out, rising up once again, your twisted crescent. Inhale, both hands to the sky. We'll reach. And exhale, hands down. Step your left foot back. Let's return. Your journey to downward dog is one of your choice, of your willing. Doesn't have to be done fast. We can always hang out in a shape that feels good for us. And then eventually we'll return. Take a few moments, maybe lower to your knees. Child's pose or a seat, just whatever you may need for a few breaths of reset. Learning how to slow down is a very valuable skill within a yoga practice. When we start to build up heat through repetitive movement, through strong holds, it's very easy to get swept away with that energy. And what makes mindfulness practices like yoga or meditation very unique is that when we notice things speeding up, we are asked to pause, to see if we can slow things back down. That doesn't mean you yourself have to entirely slow down, but it's more about noticing how fast the mind is speeding up. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. Very simple final challenge for us to build some heat, to build some more stability. We'll come into a plank, and if a plank feels like too much for your wrists, no problem, forearm plank. We're just going to play with a little bit of leg balance here. Staying as you are through your arms, through your spine, through your core. Right foot will hover off your mat. Doesn't have to be too high, but we're building a bit more awareness in what is happening through the left side. Hips are strong, glutes are engaged. Can we bring our right knee towards our right arm? Some of us straight in, some of us out to the side. The choice is there. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, step back. Take a breath to lift your left heel. Bringing it forward towards your left arm. And you'll probably start to notice that your arms demand a bit more strength here. You have to press a bit more into the ground so that your left knee doesn't graze the ground. Step back. Can we lift our hips a bit higher so as we walk our feet towards our elbows, legs remain straight. This would be your dolphin. And we're just going to maybe start with 2 steps. No problem with that. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk maybe 2 more steps. Arms are pressing really strong. And if you ever have to lower to your knees, that's okay. Holding 3, 2, 1, and maybe one step more from there. Not collapsing through the head, not collapsing through the shoulders. You stay strong for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. And would you look at that? Where we should have ended up is basically where we started today's practice. We started in a tabletop, working with cat and cow movements through our lower back as we rested on our forearms. And some of us have maybe returned to that. We can go even more in reverse. Let's shift back to a child's pose. Let your arms straighten out that much more. Let your exhales accentuate a little bit more. Releasing the heat you've created within you. From your child's pose, let's walk both of our arms to the left side of the mat. Coming into just a little bit of a side body stretch. We'll walk our hands back to center. And when you feel ready, we'll just go over to the opposite side. Hard work is now behind us. We very intentionally moved our bodies for the past 20 to 25 minutes. Great. But now we just learn to slow things down a little bit more. Let's walk our hands back to center. We'll swivel our legs around to the front. Just some soft windshield wiper movements through the legs. Knees softly bent. Your choice how wide apart your feet are. Letting your knees drop side to side. It's one thing to build up a lot of energy within our practice. It's great. But one of the things that can make yoga a very unique practice is that we also have means of releasing that energy that's been built up. Not all of it is released out. Some of it is released within. But we utilize this energy to create a little bit more softness into our body. As we extend our legs out, we'll come into one soft forward fold. So from your windshield wipers, legs extending, knees bending for many of us. We'll take a breath in, lengthening through the spine. And on your breath out, extending beyond your toes, beyond your feet. So we don't even have to worry about binding. Some of us, no problem, over time we can. Choices are there to grab onto the edges of your feet, to grab just underneath your calves, underneath your shins. And the bent knee for many of us takes a lot of the tension out of the hamstrings from stealing the stretch away from the lower back. We use our forward folds to create a little bit more length through the backside. Throughout our standing practices and movement practices, the back must stay strong for the front to open. But as we come down towards the ground, we must soften through the front to open into the back. Just a couple more breaths here. Slowing the breath and lengthening the breath out. One of the simplest ways that we can breathe to support our nervous system towards creating moments of rest. Use the assistance of your hands. Press yourself up. Feel the lengthening of your spine. Hands may come behind, shoulders may roll back, chin may lift up as we just take a couple of deep breaths. you can afford to spend just 10 breaths in a final seated posture, please do so. If you need to be on your back, that's no problem. Just a final moment before we close off our practice to be grateful for all our body and mind could do for us today. 10 breaths, that's all that's being asked. Smoothen your breath, steady your breath, slow down your breath, soften your breath. Just noticing how it feels to breathe at the end of this practice. Can we appreciate the ending of this one thing before we move on to the next thing in our day? Just a couple more breaths. Breathing in gratitude for all your body could do for you in terms of moving today. May the positive energy of your practice carry you through today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live peacefully and harmoniously. May you be liberated from your pain and suffering. It's been my honor to guide you through today's practice. Let us sit tall as we seal our practice by bowing forward and humbly saying, Namaste. Great job with today's practice. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them down below. You can always return to this practice. It's a really simple and easy way to get our bodies moving. Start of the day, end of the day, whatever time of day. Let me know how your practice went. Look forward to seeing you again for another practice. Thank you.